Hey, welcome to John's Blues video number 2. And the first one, if you recall, those that have seen it, if not, highly recommended, it was the 5 steps for the blues. It dealt mostly with note placement. In other words, where you put the notes. You know, what notes you're going to play, but where you put them. All right, with this video, we're going to deal more with developing our ears a bit to what we call, tone relation. Some people like to use the term, the distance between the notes. Some people might say, well, it's like intervals. In any event, we're going to be playing what I call sound. All right, so look at it this way, sound advice. All right, first things first. For what we're going to be playing, we're going to need an A chord backing track. If you do not have one, or you don't have a looper where you can make one, okay, because all it is, it's an A chord loop. You can go on YouTube to John's Guitar Lab, and you'll see A chord, backing track. This is exactly what it sounds like. It's very plain at 50 beats a minute. Okay, so you'll have plenty of time. It's just sort of like a snare drum type thing and a bass. Okay, next thing that we need, because we're going to be using what's very identifiable to a lot of people, is the A minor pentatonic scale. Now, something you might want to do is, if you notice on the board behind me, I have fractions written out. I call it my shorthand. What it is the top number, or the numerator, as they say, is always the string that you'll be on. The bottom number, or denominator, whatever you want to call it, is always the fret you're going to be on. So for shorthand, I highly recommend get a pencil and paper and just write down what you see on the board there. Okay, how it works, again, top number, first string, and you see below the line, it's 1/5. Okay, the fraction method. First string, 5th fret. Second string, you see it's 2/8. Second string, 8th fret. Second string, 5th fret. Third string, 7th fret. Third string, 5th fret. Fourth string, 7th fret. Well, you see how it's going. Write that down, because it's going to be very important for what we're going to be doing now. All right. Another thing, if you're not sure with fingering, something that you could do here, and remember, this video is more about training our ears. Right now, we're not worried about our technique. All right, but for the use of this video, it might be easy to say, take any note that appears on the 5th fret on any of the strings, use your first finger. Any note that appears on the 6th fret, use your second finger. Any note that's on the 7th fret, use your 3rd finger. And if there's any notes on the 8th fret, use your pinky. All right, so now we sort of have the basics down. What we're going to do here is we need to look at what we're doing, sing what we're doing, so we could hear what we're doing. Okay, we have the board set up for the second part here that we're doing. So what's happening? Nice and simple and to the point, note placement up here. So what the note placement's going to be, and looking at example 1, because we have 3 examples, looking at example 1, you see where it's highlighted 1 and, then there's a rest for 2, 3 and there's a rest for 4. This is what that sounds like. Again, right now, focus example 1. Start, give us a full count, 2, 3, and 4, and that's 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and... Okay, all I did there was I just used random A's and I indicated the note placement. Bop, bop, 2, bop, bop, 4. All right, so again, let's do it. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3, 4. Now, once you have that placement locked in, now just take random notes out of your A minor pentatonic scale and place them on the 1 and on the 3 and. For example, and 2 and 3 and 4, I could go. Okay, now do you see what I did there? Or did you hear it? All that was happening is that these notes are in the set pattern, okay? And you just play that, you let that pattern stay with you so you can move the notes. Now, the part here that's a little bit more challenging, all right, is you have to watch what you're doing. You have to like sort of sing what you're doing while you're counting. All right, sounds in one way easy, but it's not, and it's a very difficult thing to explain. You know, it's sort of like trying to explain to somebody to balance something. You could tell them, you know, if you're putting a stick on your hand or you're riding a bicycle, trying to ride a two-wheel bicycle, you could say, well, okay, move a little to the left, move a little bit to the right. How far is a little? How much is it to the right? How much is it to the left? You could give the general idea, but you have to discover it yourself. All right? So let's try it one more time. I'm going to give you the 4 beats, right? And then I'm just going to toss notes out with the note placement on the 1 and on the 3 and. Listen up. And I'm going to also be watching and singing, because the point here, and most importantly, is to try to hear where these notes are on the fingerboard. Okay, because that is the key to good improvisation. Listen up. 2, 3, 4. Boo, ba, ba, boo, ba, doo, ba, boo, ba, boo, 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 boo. Again, it's a little bit tedious, but it's really the only way to let this sink in. Now, let's move on to the second example. Now, the second example, again, the principle stays the same in terms of where at this time we're only using the notes from the A minor pentatonic scale. All right, and we're going to use this note placement, which is 1 and a 2, rest, 4. 1 and a 2, 3, rest, 4. What does that sound like? Listen up. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 and a 2, 4. Now when we use notes, so you got the drift there, what was going on. Sounds a little more bluesy now all of a sudden. Now that's just with this example. Again, and I know I sound like a broken record, but it's important that this sinks in. We're going to count it, sing it, and play it. Okay, now for the third one. This one, a little bit more involved. All right. Let's get that timing down first. You see what's happening here on the 1, 2, and but here we're playing 2, 3, and 4. The 2, it's sort of like a little hesitation between the two notes. Listen to what it sounds like. 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. One, ba, ba. So all I did first, establish the placement, then I started to move the notes. Let's just get this a little bit in tune here. All right, now what we're going to do is mix up all 3 of these note placements. Listen to what can happen. 2, 3, and 4. Boo, boo. Boo, boo. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba. Ba, ba. Ba, 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 what I did is I just did them in order 1, 2, 3, and then I did 1, 2, 3 again. You can mix this up any way you want. For now, stay within the A minor pentatonic scale. That's important, right? And try, I know it's difficult to, boo, da, dee, ba, boo, but that's the key. All right, it's going to give you, once it clicks, it's going to happen. Now, for some people, it could happen in weeks. Some people, months. If you're like me, it took years. All right. So that's part 2, so to speak, of this, getting into this blues thing. And I guess, as you're keenly aware, you have to have it. It has to come from here and here. All right. This isn't where, hey man, I'm going to play an A chord run against, this or that. That's all fine and dandy. But what you want to be able to do when you're playing blues, man, is you need to be improvising, making stuff up. not saying, hey man, I'm taking this out of here and I'm using it here, I'm using it there. That's okay. But you want to be original, okay? Let me take you out with some stuff. If you like it, give me that thumbs up, subscribe. Questions, comments below. Have fun with this. Don't get crazy, but try to stick to that, singing that thing. Even if, it's in your head, just do it. You'll see it's going to change your life, man. Take care.